Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the channel. Today we're giving early report cards to Angel City, and this is the long version. If you want a shorter version, there is a link below. And right now I'm giving this team an A minus, and let me explain why. The team opened up 3-0, and which was the best start in their history for the club before losing on the road to Orlando 2-1, which is there's no shame in that. Orlando is a very, very good top tier team, and they're very good at home. And honestly, Angel City was in that from start to finish. In fact, now the win against the Houston Dash looks even stronger now because the Dash are also legit and off to a great start. What really has to be taken a look at here is this is a team that it's not just about good vibes or good attitudes. This team is starting to produce, and when there's actual structure, actual identity, and actual production coming together, you can't help but feel it's going to be legit. But let's look at Jan's daughter. Wow, what an explosion she's had to start the season. If I'm not mistaken, it's 3 goals, 4 assists in 4 games. She was player of the month. And not to mention, she has a long throw as well, and she is now bringing some star power that wasn't there before from her, because everyone is talking about this young lady, and she is phenomenal. I don't know where she's been hiding. I know she came from Wolfsburg, but wow, what a revelation. So, but it's not just one player carrying this team right now. We have to look at the manager and give him some credit, because I had my doubts about this guy. But regardless, any manager worth his salt gets the team to buy in, and this team is buying in. So Alex Strauss was named Coach of the Month, and he deserved it. Angel City's official recap on their site, has credited him basically with giving the team some tactical clarity, which you could tell they didn't have before, helping guide the club to its best winning streak ever. 3 games. Well, that tells you you've not been doing well the last few years if your biggest streak has been 3 games. The club also noted that Angel City has started the youngest lineups they've ever done before, and back to back, and that shows the manager has talented youngsters, but he also has trust in this group, and that's what he needs to build. It pisses me off when managers only make a roster of basically 13 players. If you want to win in any league, you got to have depth. You have to be able to trust that depth, and the only way you can trust depth is by letting those kids play and raising their game, okay? There's nothing that beats game experience. I don't care how long you train. I don't care if you have the world-class training facility and all the best trainers and technical people there. There's no substitute for games, period. But, that says a lot about the talent in this group, okay, that they're willing to put those youngsters out there. And that part matters, because Angel City is not exactly cruising with a full healthy squad right now. They have some people on maternity leave still. Sydney LaRue is still out with excused absences. On top of that, Sagita has suffered a season-ending knee injury in March, which just sucks. I feel bad for her. Someone else was out recently with a longer-term injury. I think it was Cherry with a bad thigh issue. So Angel City has come out hot on top of that anyway, and that deserves real credit. Anderson also deserves a lot of credit and a lot of love, because she's standing up big in goal. I think she's tied for second in the league with the goals against average right now, which is a good, I know it's 4 games, but still. She preserved that win against Houston. There's no doubt about it. That was big time goalkeeping, okay? Not some sort of just accident. That was big time that she came up with, and that win matters, okay? Then there's some of the younger pieces, okay? Riley Tiernan continues to develop, okay? She scored the winner against Houston, and let's see. Giselle Thompson also scored that match, right? Oh, no. Giselle scored in the Orlando match. They lost, but wow, that was pretty cute and funny the way she celebrated. But she's doing really well on top of that. Is that 2 goals for her in 4 games? I think it might be. Okay, so they were getting some big-time goalkeeping. They're getting some pitching in from people who don't normally score. So why not an A or an A+ at this point? Well, because I still need to see how sustainable this run is. It is only 4 games. They haven't even played 5 like some of the other teams. And that loss to Orlando, they got a little exposed. Again, Orlando is a top-tier team, and they're playing at home. So, but it did show that Angel City can hang with those teams. And if bounces had got different, as we always say, maybe they come out on top of that. So, again, the results have been excellent, but it's only 4 matches, so we'll have to see what happens after the break. But there's reason for excitement here, okay? The attack, I think they get a solid A, because Jan's daughter has just been absolutely I don't know, electrifying, phenomenal, remarkable. I don't know. Angel City scored 10 goals in its first 4 league matches, and that's way ahead of what they've done in seasons past. The midfield, B plus. They have good energy and balance there, but the Sagita injury is really gonna hurt, and I want to see them come together a little more. It's a little disjointed. Defense gets a B plus because they're not giving up that many goals, but they make some mental mistakes that has to do with basically some integration and maybe some inexperience issues for there. Goalkeeping, A minus, which is solid, right? Anderson's been way above what I expected and maybe what fans do. And she's been a great stabilizer back there, and her confidence will continue to grow the more she gets these results. Okay, coaching, I'm giving a solid A there. Strauss has clearly put his stamp on this, which I don't usually say because a lot of times people come in and they talk a bunch of bollocks and they're just full of crap and don't even understand their own tactics. Whatever Strauss is doing is working, and the big part it is whatever you do, if the players believe, that is almost maybe a little more than half the battle. If they buy in, that makes things easier because you're a manager besides tactics. It's not everything. You got to manage the egos, manage the minutes, manage the development, all these things. Your job's on the line every single week. But, this has got to be one of the best early season stories, okay? They've got some star power. They've got some young players. They've got a coach already putting clear structure in place, and that is freaking huge. That identity and structure. Structure is everything. And it's funny because as much as we talk about teams having problems, what they need to adjust, it usually comes down to spacing and timing and derivatives of that. But think about it, what I'm saying. Most issues are caused by poor spacing and poor timing. Okay, just a step late, a little bit too much distance, a little bit too much close, whatever's happening, it's a lot of spacing and timing. And that has to do with overall structure. And what I'm seeing there is good resets when they lose the ball. There's structure. Angel City has to be happy with that. Fans have got to be ecstatic. We'll see what happens in the next weeks, but wow, this is a good start. So, can they keep the level up? Can they survive the injuries? Can they turn a hot start into a real contender, status or profile? That's the real question. But if they do, that grade is going up, and they're already at an A minus. But if they wobble, we'll see. Right now, though, Angel City looks legit. So, congrats to them. I'm sure your fans are happy. And I'll see you in the next video. If you do like this type of content, consider liking and subscribing. It would really help out our channel, maybe help my family out while we're going some things with some health issues, etc. And there's playlists that will be built for, like the early report cards, previews, etc. And not just NWSL. But we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for stopping by.